Can Quinn beat Icon again? This is Tools and Twisties, Precision Tools Performance Cars. We're going to ask that question. Today we're going to look at impact sockets. We're going to look at a bunch from Quinn, and we're going to look at a bunch from Icon. Harbor Freight's having their 40% off socket sale right now, so I think it's the perfect time to evaluate these different impacts and what you might want to add to your collection. Recently bought the Icon professional impacts in shallow and deep, in 1/4 inch, in 3/8 inch and 1/2 inch. And one of the reasons I bought them was because they were labeled as thin wall impacts. And I was interested in getting a set of thin wall impacts that could potentially be used as everyday sockets as well. So we're going to take a look at that, see what they really are, whether they're any good. The Quinns are about half the price, and they're pretty decent. They're both made in Taiwan. They're not Chinese made, and they're not US made, obviously, for the price. But let's take a look at a 19 millimeter. This is a 19 millimeter Icon deep impact, and I would say that is anything but a thin wall impact. That is a pretty hefty wall impact. Here's the Quinn for comparison. And yeah, the Quinn I would say maybe is a thin wall. Of course, it's not labeled as such. And the Icon that is labeled as a thin wall is not. Now, sometimes a super heavy socket is advantageous. If you're pulling off really heavy bolts and your impact gun is not quite cutting it, then sometimes having a heavy socket can help, give you a little bit more oomph. I don't usually find that to be a problem, especially with the modern electric impacts that are out now. They are so powerful that as long as your impact is not breaking, your socket is not breaking, you're good. Lifetime warranty on both of these, I should mention, and pretty easy to take advantage of that lifetime warranty. Just walk in and usually you walk out with your replacement. So that is the Icon. It's also about heavier, a little bit heavier. I have a scale here in 19 millimeter, and let's see, the 1/2 inch 19 millimeter deep is 10 ounces, 10.2. And the Quinn is 7. So we're almost 50% heavier on the 19 millimeter. The difference, I've weighed a few earlier, the difference is much less on the smaller sizes. In fact, if you look at like the 19 millimeter shallow versus the 19 millimeter shallow, it's 3.4 versus 3.7, so almost a trivial difference. I did want to show you, in terms of, we're talking about thin wall sockets, that is the Icon compared to an Icon Chrome socket. And again, you can see that is not getting into any kind of narrow space. That is a pretty beefy socket. And let's compare the Quinn. Very similar. It's funny because I think the Quinn is the one that should be labeled thin wall, and of course is not. And the Icon is labeled thin wall, and it is. It's about twice the price for the Icons. The 1/2 inch sets here on sale are $30 and $42. Not bad, very reasonable. But compared to these 1/2 inch sets, 21 and 15 bucks, very cheap. The full 3/8 inch set is kind of interesting. It comes with extensions, it comes with swivels, it comes with adapters. And I really like the Quinn Master set in the chromies. And this looks to also be very interesting. I don't use standard sockets a lot, but if you want something that includes standard sockets, this is a heck of a kit in 3/8 inch for 60 bucks. Especially when you include all the extensions and the swivels in it. It's a pretty good kit. And again, the quality on this stuff looks pretty good. The other thing I think that's interesting about the Quinn stuff is it comes in these nice cases, and the lids, you pull the pins out and you can use these as trays inside your toolbox. The Icons come with these kind of cheesy plastic things, which, you know, I guess are okay, but they're way bulkier in terms of how much space they take up in your toolbox. And I'd say lower quality, not as nice. So again, we have, I also have a cheap Chinese version of an impact socket here. And if you compare that, you can see, you know, these really not that much difference. But quite honestly, the price of these Quinns is getting to be so good that it doesn't make a lot of sense to buy the Chinese no warranty stuff. And this is also chrome vanadium, and this is chrome moly. Chrome moly is much better for impact sockets than Chrome V is. So I think you're getting something extra for the money. So super cheap, cheap, and a little bit cheap. Icon, Quinn, no name Chinese. My vote for the win, again, is Quinn. I think they're 2-0 on the tool wars against Icon right now. So that is Tools and Twisties for today. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Let me know what you would pick. And we are out.